There were gendarme patrols all over the city, and their presence was also at polling stations. Satusal Sidibe of the movement Carl Lenin is a tutor at the University of Dakar. She took 100 meters walk from her residence to the polling station at the École Primaire in Point A, where she cast her vote. In an exclusive interview I had with her, she deplored President Obasanjo's 2-year stay in power if WADA wins. She said Obasanjo has actually endorsed that WADA has won, even when the elections have not begun. All the other 12 candidates went to their respective regions to cast their votes, and we were not able to reach them. Voting ended at 6 p.m., and provisional results are due later on Friday. Reporting from Dakar for GRTS, this is Malik Jones on the Senegalese presidential elections.
And there we're going to take a very short break. The news continues in just a moment. Welcome back. Still in Senegal, where the poll was preceded by demonstrations by those opposed to President Abdoulaye Wade's third-term bid. The incumbent President Wade cast his ballot in the capital, Dakar, amidst heavy security and was jeered by crowds of people as he entered the polling station. We have more in this report.
Amadou Gueye, a member of Senegal's opposition coalition, the June 23 movement, cast his ballot in Senegal's presidential election. Following instructions from his movement, he didn't pick up a vote bulletin from the fourth pile, automatically eliminating incumbent President Abdoulaye Wade.
I didn't take Abdoulaye Wade's bulletin. Maybe this is an offense, but it's important to respect our movement's instructions so that Abdoulaye Wade took no part in my vote.
The move is potentially subversive, since voters are obliged to take all 14 bulletins, but personnel at polling stations were too busy to notice. According to Amadou Gueye, the only way to beat Abdoulaye Wade is through the ballot box.
If we didn't manage to stop Abdoulaye Wade from taking part in this election, we have continued to fight him at the polling station. It was out of the question that we boycott the vote.
Singer Youssou N'Dour, who wanted the election postponed after his own candidature was rejected, cast his vote in the Medina neighborhood of Dakar.
There were actions taken and contradictions, but what counts, what's important to the Senegalese, is that there is change, real change.
The streets of Dakar were calm Sunday morning, with police keeping a low profile. Voters turned out in strength, and despite delays in opening the polling stations and other minor hitches, voting took place without too much difficulty in the capital.
The only democratic means of settling political differences is through the ballot box. Problems related to democracy cannot be settled in the streets.
President Abdoulaye Wade, who cast his vote close to his home, was booed as he arrived. His close circle commented that the jeering was an expression of democracy.
Former South African president and anti-apartheid icon Nelson Mandela was recently admitted and discharged from a Johannesburg hospital, but the anxiety generated by that development is refusing to die down. The health of the much-loved former president is the subject of discussion throughout the country. Let's look at this report for more on that.
This van carried former South African President Nelson Mandela back home after he was discharged from hospital Sunday. The country's beloved icon had been admitted to hospital on Saturday for a long-standing abdominal complaint. He was released after a non-invasive keyhole surgery. News of Mandela's condition had been given by the country's defense minister.
It wasn't the surgery that has been out there in the media at all. And he is as fine as can be at his age. He is fine and handsome.
The state of health of the 93-year-old former president was a subject of preoccupation for most South Africans. But the ruling ANC party had reassured the people.
There is nothing to worry about. All we can say is that he should be given the privacy and the chance to recuperate. And from the ANC, we want to say he should get well soon.
Mandela remains a crucial and much beloved figure in South Africa. Any health scare sparks national fears. South Africa's churches were full Sunday, and services were devoted to hopes of a speedy recovery.
Since he was hospitalized yesterday, and I wish him for a quick recovery, and I was so shocked about his news about the hospitalized, and I wish God bless him for long years.
God give strength to him and his family also, because he was a good president.
Mandela, who led the fight against apartheid, spent 27 years in prison. In 1994, he was elected South Africa's first black president. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. He served one term before stepping down in 1999.
And time now to take another break. We'll take a look at the sports in just a moment. Welcome back to GRT's news and to the sports now. Region 2 are the winners of the 2012 Interregional Athletics Championship for basic schools. The competition staged to commemorate the 47th anniversary of the attainment of nationhood was watched by Fatou Lamin Faye, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. Ndai Busso reports.
This Inter-Basic School Athletic Championship is an annual event organized by the Ministry for Basic and Secondary Education. The competition saw primary school pupils participate in various events. Participants hail from across Region 1 to 6, with Region 2 aiming to successfully defend a title they have now made theirs in recent years. It was no surprise after some exciting races. Region 2 took first with 308 points, beating off the competition of Region 3, who pulled 273 points. Third came Region 6 with 235 points. Region 5 and Region 1 completed the pack, scoring 196 points and 186 points respectively. After watching the latest Independence Athletics Festival, the Minister for Basic and Secondary Education spoke to GRTS about the importance of the event.
It's important because of the fact that it's from these schools, the grassroots, that you can identify the talent and nurture it to feed into the various national teams.
Grooming talents at the grassroots, the minister says, will help the country prepare athletes for international competitions.
We bring back school sports and by extension national athletics, you know, to the forefront.
The Basic and Secondary Education Minister also disclosed that the much anticipated Inter-Secondary School Athletics Championship will be staged. She says the forthcoming event will be a one with a difference.
We'll do our best, and we are going to continue to engage with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, as well as the Gambia Amateur Athletics Association and the Gambia Senior Secondary School Sports Association.
With some of the country's brightest youngsters showcasing their talents on the national front, athletic chiefs are looking to push harder with their efforts to harness emerging talents at a very young age. For GRTS Sports, I am Debuso.
Quick check of the sports there before we end the news. A reminder of the headlines. A $4.5 million ultra-modern skills acquisition and multi-purpose center project is ready to take off ground in the West Coast region village of Ndemban. Governor Omar Khan of the Upper River region has presided over regional commemorations marking the 47th anniversary of the Gambia's escape from the fangs of colonialism. The health of Nelson Mandela, South Africa's first black president, has generated a huge air of anxiety across the nation, and Senegal's 5 million-odd voters have been flocking to polling stations to elect the person who should be at the helm for the next 5 years. You can follow that story